Hi guys, this is Deekshita Verma or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a long time again. I'm still figuring out what type of content I want to post on YouTube and what content I don't want to post on YouTube. So it's still very inconsistent and I've not been at the best of my health. So I'm not getting the time to post or just make content in general, but I promised a video of how I got into Google. So I did not want it to be experience based. I wanted it more of Q&A of what people actually want to ask when they see someone cracking an internship at Google. So just a disclaimer, if you don't know, I cracked an internship at Google. It was an on-campus placement, so it was everything arranged by my TNP cell of my college. So it wasn't an off-campus, so I cannot help you in that perspective, but whatever happens in an on-campus and all the things that you need to prepare or stuff like that, that I can help you about. So without any further ado, let's get started. So I asked on my Instagram to ask me questions so that I can answer them. First question is what all type of languages we should know and what kind of preparation we should do. So there's no specific language, but whenever we give an interview, it is expected to either be thorough in C++ or Java for DSA. So I would recommend to be thorough with that, and other than that you can go for any tech stack for development. I mean, in my interviews nothing related to my resume was asked. It was just evaluated in one of the rounds, but nothing related to the resume was asked over there. So yeah. Also, what kind of preparation you should do? Focus on DSA more, because if we talk about Google, personally in my interviews, only DSA was asked. I'm not sure what happens off campus, and I'm also not sure what happens in other company interviews. As per my friends, there were questions like OOPS, OS, and DBMS. All of the core subjects were asked in other companies, but when you talk specifically about Google, they only focus on DSA. What is the thing that plays a major role to get you at Google? DSA again, because I gave like a coding round and I gave a couple of interviews. Everything was just DSA based. How to make an effective resume? Oh my god, that's a very vast question, but I would recommend to have you know a very well curated and a single page resume, because for a recruiter they'll just take a glance for like 15 to 20 seconds. So you know your education, your experiences, whatever you've achieved and what extracurricular you do, everything should be highlighted in that 15-20 seconds. So just curate it in a form that it's easily readable, it's easily understandable, and just don't be afraid to uh, include things that you feel might not be as good in comparison to others, because it's a very beginning stage for you, as like you'll be giving internship interviews in the beginning of your third year. So by then we do not expect, like Google does not expect you or any other company does not expect you to know millions of things together. They just want to know what all you've done, and just be honest in your resume. Please do not lie about the things, do not lie about the skills. Probably you might have worked on that skill. If you're not thorough with it, do not include it in the resume, because if by chance they ask you anything specific to your resume, you can get messed up. Otherwise, if you want, I can have a video specifically fully dedicated to resume of how to curate it and what should be done as a student, because I probably had a lot of hit and miss in different opportunities. It was not just internship opportunity, but whenever you go for scholarships or mentorship programs, your resume is evaluated over there. And with time I realized what was wrong with my resume till the time I curated this one, and I'm pretty confident about this one, so I can help you with that. How did you learn in this online mode? Because I find myself wasting time all the time. That's a good question. So I mean, first of all, you have to be motivated enough to do this. uh, Obviously there are times that you just don't want to do anything and you probably waste your time, but it's it's again time management. It's again a driving force thing. So basically, if you have like long term, short term goals decided in your mind, you'll probably be able to achieve them better. So um, like in my second year I knew that I wanted to finish DSA, because in my third year I'll be giving interviews. So my long term goal for a year was to be pretty good at DSA. Short term goals would be कि इस वीक में मुझे इतना ख़त्म करना है, इस वीक में मुझे इतना ख़त्म करना है. And because I had those goals in my mind, I used to write them down, so it gave me the motivation to actually work on it. Because if I did not complete that goal in that week, it used to you know hurt me a bit, or just it didn't make me happy. So I wanted to complete the goal that I had decided. Obviously breaks are important, but if you have things planned out, it works out better. That's what I believe now, or you could be completely different in comparison to me, but this is how I work. So this was one thing that kept me motivated, because in online mode it's very difficult to concentrate on classes. It's very difficult because there are so many societies, there are so many things that you want to be a part of, there are so many internship opportunities side by side that goes on with college, and you really want to be a part of it, but you have to decide what is your priority and what you have to focus on at that point. How long is it going to take to master data structures, given that someone knows the basics? I think even I haven't mastered data structures. You can never master something like data structure, but you can have a well good knowledge of it. It totally depends on your pace. I would say I had a basic knowledge, more than like the basic school knowledge when I entered college, but I was distracted in my first year because I did not actually tried focusing on it. And I used to do DSA by myself even during the first year, so I was working on it, but there was no proper guidance for me. नथिंग वॉज लेड आउट प्रॉपरली कि पहले ये करना है फिर ऐसे करना है. वो वाला एक मेंटोरशिप नहीं थी मेरे पास फर्स्ट ईयर में. सो इट वॉज not the best curated. When I did this 1 month program Codon Fest by Skillship Foundation, I realized that there are so many things that I had no clue about. I understood it by then, but still वो concepts clear नहीं थे. So I decided to take up a course, and I guess that course took me 4 to 5 months. With exams के breaks वगैरह हम बीच में breaks ले सकते थे. We can take offs because there were deadlines, so you can take off, and this is like a self-paced course, but you can only take 60 days off. तो कुछ ऐसे करके I think in the span of 5 months I completed the course, and then I kept practicing from lead code. Again lead code से भी मैं खुद से question नहीं निकालती थी, मैं खुद से कुछ नहीं ढूंढती थी. I was a part of this college society, and they used to give daily questions, so I just kept practicing on that, and it gave me a habit of completing at least 5 to 6 lead code questions, and they were like easy or medium level questions. I never went to the hard level. Now that I've started working on the hard level questions, but I think that helped me clear my concepts a lot, because I've focused on my concepts in 11th 12th. I focused on my concepts by myself in my first year, and then I took like a proper course जिससे कि मेरे को concepts और clear हो जाए second year में. तो क्योंकि इतना concepts पे focus करा rather than obviously practice is important, पर सीधा practice पे जाने से पहले I was focusing more on concepts, so it probably helped me better. That's what I think. So yeah, it totally depends on your own pace, and it totally depends on how you're working on it. In which year you started DSA? Is it necessary for us to do CP? That's okay. One thing that I need to make clear is that competitive programming is not necessary for an internship. When you give internship interviews, they focus on data structures and algorithms and not competitive programming. These two are different things. So yeah, now that that's clear. I don't know what should I call the specific year when I started DSA, because मैंने बहुत breaks में किया है. I did study trees and heaps in my 11th 12th as well. My teacher forced me to do that. She always thought I had no potential to do something extra, so she asked me to refer books, and I did that. थोड़ा समझ आया उस टाइम पे, थोड़ा नहीं आया. फिर बोर्ड्स की तैयारी करी, भूल गई. फर्स्ट ईयर में फिर से खुद से करने की कोशिश करी, तब भी समझ आया, फिर थोड़ा मिस हो गया. फिर प्रॉपर अगर करें तो कोर्स सेकेंड ईयर में किया था मैंने. So I started in August second year. What were the projects that you focused on, and the tech stack? How important are they? If you're sitting for on campus, I don't think that it's important to follow a particular tech stack, when you apply off campus, you're applying for specific roles, and I think tech stack comes into role when you're applying for off campus. That's what I think. I'm not very sure about off campus, but if I'm talking about on campus internships, I was only working in augmented reality, and that was my tech stack, and I had multiple projects in them. I was mentoring students. I had made a course in augmented reality as well, and it's pretty important to keep to put it in your resume, because resume they will go through your resume before selecting you for further rounds. So it is important over there, but I'm not very sure if it's important further. If we talk about other companies, I'm not aware of that because I did not give those interviews. But for Google, they do not ask you about your projects on campus. Roadmap to internship from second year, including platforms we need to do coding challenges. So I'll just give a gist. I did a DSA course in my second year. It went from August to December or January beginning, because I had my exams during December, so I took a break and I finished my course in January beginning. And after that, I was practicing from lead code. The questions were easy level till January. In February, I gave Flipkart Girls Code contest, and I realized that my DSA was not as strong as I thought it was. There was a setback, and then I realized that I have to focus more. So I started doing medium level questions. I did do hard level questions, but not that much. So I was focusing on medium level questions on lead code, and I did that, I think, till June, July, I guess till June, and then I was selected in Microsoft Engage program. So when I was selected over there, I was busy building the website because I was learning web development for the first time. That's when I got a bit distracted, and after that I started my practice again medium level questions, lead code, and then I gave my interviews and I got selected in Google. That's how my journey happened. What are the topics that are really important, and how should we practice for DSA and interviews? Um, yeah, topics for DSM are sub important, right? So on the concepts, they can ask you anything and everything. I don't think DB is asked in interviews, but the questions that you give in the coding round are based on DP. So anyway, some things are important more in the interviews, and some things are important more in the coding round. So you have to do all the topics of DSA. Um, how should we practice for DSA in interviews? Again, lead code. I think that's the best platform. You can go for HackerRank and other platforms as well. I personally prefer lead code a lot. So the next question is, please add your daily routine and habits that contributed in achieving Google. Um, I would say that the habit of making lists, the habit of having long-term and short-term goals, because that kept me very organized and decisive of what I wanted to do. Now, everyone does not like planning things a lot. I am obsessed with planning and lists. So I really think that helped me. And then there was a time when I was getting very demotivated, so I shifted to waking up early, and I absolutely love that routine. I'm still not back at it now. I took some time off from that routine because it gets very strict on you at times. So keeping in mind that my health wasn't very great, I still have a lot of coughs, so I decided to not follow that routine for some time. But I think waking up early just gives you a lot of motivation and strength. And I take time off, I go out for walks, I listen to music, I calm myself down, I talk to friends. So even if you're focusing on things, you just need some time off, and that really helped me. But I'm not very sure which particular habit was the one that helped in achieving Google. I would definitely say the way you present, the way you communicate matters a lot, because there are a lot of people who can clear the coding rounds, but what makes you stand out is the confidence you have and the way you are explaining. So even if I might not be the best at solving that question, if I'm presenting it well, they would still select me. Like, it's not like तुम्हें question ही नहीं आता, तुम सिर्फ अच्छे से बोल रहे हो, but there's always a way of talking, there's always an aura, there's always a body language that is also evaluated in the interviews. So I think that helps a lot. So you need to have a lot of confidence, and I feel like when I started YouTube, I was very conscious in front of camera. With time, I started getting comfortable with it. If I see the course that I made a year ago, I cannot, relate to that person because I was so conscious of myself sitting in front of the camera. So I think with that as well, having my camera on and talking made me very comfortable, and I've always been fond of talking. So yeah, that helped a lot. What all can a beginner do and aim like you? Oh my god. Uh, See, even I was a beginner. If you see me a year back, uh, I think in August, like before I started my this coding like proper course, I had this friend. So I used to do CP back then, and with CP I was practicing DSA. So I wasn't at the right path back then, and I had this friend who was very good at CP. We were working in an organization together that was the virus challenge. It was a challenge curated by one of my very good friends, Pooja. There I think he cracked a Microsoft internship, and our group was the first one to know when he did that. So he told us, and I was like, I really want to be there next year. And I asked him if he could help guide me, because I am good at CP. Like I was good at CP back then, but I just don't know if I'm on the right path because everything is just haphazard. There's no very curated path for me. And then he said कि तुझे आता है पर तुझे पूरा प्रॉपर प्रोसीजर में या फिर हर कॉन्सेप्ट की कैसे कब लगता है और क्या टेक्निकल टर्म्स होती है तुझे वो नहीं पता, तेरे को कॉन्सेप्ट पता है, तू कोड लिख लेगी, पर तू उस वे में नहीं लिख पाएगी जिस तरह कोई और एक्सपेक्ट करेगा, जैसे एक प्रॉपर कोर्स में क्यूरेट होता है. तो आई वुड रिकमेंड कि तू कोर्स ज्वाइन कर ले एंड बाकी तेरे को गाइड मैं कर दूँगा. सो आई दैट्स व्हेन आई एक्चुअली स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन इट. अदरवाइज एक साल पहले मैं भी बिगिनर थी. तो चल मारो यार. इट्स जस्ट अबाउट इफ़ यू रियली हैव इट इन यू, तुम कर लोगे, बहुत आराम से हो जाएगा. बस तुम्हें लाइक उसकी तरफ बहुत एम करना है, तुम्हें काफ़ी एफर्ट डालना है. ब्रेक डाउन्स होंगे, मन नहीं करेगा, बोर हो जाओगे, थक जाओगे, कभी कभी लगेगा क्या ही कर रहे हैं, पर हो जाता है. Okay, how many hours a day were you studying and what all is most important? I don't have any specific hour time to me. I think it totally depended on मुझे कितना किस वीक में करना है. I used to give like my morning hours to DSA and जो भी core subjects थे, because our seniors informed us in the very beginning कि core subjects बहुत important है, मत छोड़ना उनको. तो I was focusing on DSA and core subjects. तो in the morning hours I would study that. फिर थोड़ी देर बाद I would give time to development and I would do my makeup stuff, and then रात को I would go to all the college का practical का काम या जो भी ऐसे बचता था. तो ऐसे I had this in 4 parts. एंड वन एवर आई नीडेड टू टेक अ ब्रेक या जो भी करना था वो मैं कर लेती थी. तो ऐसे कोई स्पेसिफिक आवर्स नहीं है कि मेरे को इतना ही करना है. हाँ, ये था कि मुझे दिन में 5 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं, या जब मैं कोर्स कर रही थी तो मुझे दिन में इतनी वीडियोस ख़त्म करनी है. इतनी वीडियोस का नहीं था, वो वीडियो का टाइमिंग था आई गेस. मुझे इतना क्लियरली याद नहीं है, बट हाँ लाइक देयर वाज दिस गोल कि एक दिन में इतना होना चाहिए. आवर्स स्पेसिफाइड नहीं है, बिकॉज मैं कभी भी आवर्स में अपना काम काउंट करती ही नहीं. ये मैंने शुरू से किया है कि ये नहीं देखना कि कितने घंटे बैठ के कर रही हूँ. मुझे इतना ख़त्म करना तो करना है, अब कैसे भी हो, चाहे जल्दी हो जाए, चाहे बाद में हो, चाहे कितना भी टाइम लगे, मुझे ख़त्म करना. और एक बार ये हो गया तो मेरा दिन का काम ख़त्म हो गया, फिर मैं कुछ उठाती ही नहीं थी. तो ये होता है. What kind of projects are impressive? I am not sure. I mean, just add a creative touch to it. If I talk about my AR projects, all of them are projects that pre-exist. It's just how I present them. So the snake game, the snake game was the first AR project that I had. Me and my mentor transformed it to another level. Uh, there was this car wala thing. There was this car visualizer. So I had like a different marketing strategy plan. There was this image tracking. I could easily say कि वो image track करके कुछ दिखा रहा है. I said greeting card है ये आपका Christmas का greeting card है. Album I had to make. Again वो image tracking था. So I said this is like an album dedicated to a particular show friends. तो वो क्योंकि वो friends already hyped up है, तो उसे भी थोड़ा cloud chase कर लिया था हमने. एंड ऑब्वियसली अगर जैसे तुम वेब में काम करो, लिटरली हर बंदा टू डू लिस्ट का एक वेबसाइट बनाएगा, हर बंदा एक ई कॉमर्स वेबसाइट बनाएगा. तुम उसमें क्या क्रिएटिव टच डाल सकते हो, तो दैट विल जस्ट डिस्प्ले समथिंग दैट हैज़ बीन क्यूरेटेड बाय यू. मतलब कि कुछ तुम्हारा तड़का अलग से लग रहा है. तो आई थिंक दैट इज़ द मोस्ट इम्प्रेसिव पार्ट. एंड बाकी तुम्हारे जो क्रिएटिविटी पे क्लिक करते हैं, जैसे कि द एनी वेयर डोर थिंग दैट आई मेड, इट इज़ एक्चुअली एन AR पोर्टल विच इज़ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट कॉमन प्रोजेक्ट्स दैट यू विल सी इन AR. बहुत सिंपल ट्यूटोरियल फॉलो करके मैंने वो 4 घंटे में बनाया था. बट मैंने क्या नाम दिया उसको कि डोरेमोन का एनी वेयर डोर है, एंड इट गॉट हैक्ड अप. सो इट्स जस्ट अबाउट द क्रिएटिविटी. प्रोजेक्ट सिंपल भी हो तो चलता है, तुम उसको मार्केट किस तरह करोगे वहाँ पे आ जाता है, एंड उससे ही प्रोजेक्ट सडनली इंप्रेसिव लगने लग जाता है. वॉज इट ऑन कैंपस और ऑफ कैंपस? ऑल्सो इंटरव्यू राउंड्स, डिड रेफरल्स वर्क? It was an on-campus opportunity, and when you sit for on-campus internships, referrals do not work for you. Interview rounds, I think I'm not allowed to disclose that, but I give a couple of interviews on the same day. Can you tell CP skills level mandatory for Google, like 4-star at CC Masters? CP skills are not at all mandatory. They do not even see your CP profiles as per on campus. They just make you sit and solve a question if you're good at it. But yeah, if you're not, sorry. So yeah, CP skills are not important over there. Do scholarships, for example, Generation Google Scholarship, are really important? I mean, they are important and they help a lot, and it really adds value to your resume. And obviously I told you कि कुछ keywords होते हैं resume में जो एकदम ही वो glance पे अट्रैक्ट कर जाएंगे एक इंटरव्यूअर को, या जो भी तुम्हारा रेज्यूमे को ओवरव्यू कर रहा होगा, तो उसमें बहुत मैटर करेगा ये. व्हाट होल्ड्स मोर वेटेज, कोडिंग और प्रोजेक्ट्स? ऑन कैंपस में कोडिंग. प्रोजेक्ट्स करते हैं, पर प्रोजेक्ट सिर्फ आई गेस जितना वो रेज्यूमे में मेंशन करते हो एंड जिस तरह उसको प्रेजेंट करते हो, उसके आगे प्रोजेक्ट्स का नहीं पूछा जाता गूगल के स्पेसिफिक. हाउ वाज द इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस? इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंस वाज ग्रेट. एज आई सेड, इट ऑलमोस्ट फेल्ट लाइक आई वाज टॉकिंग टू अ फ्रेंड, and it was pretty chill. I just explained whatever was going on in my mind. All you have to do is just whatever you're thinking when you're solving a question, कि इसका ये केस होगा, इसमें ऐसे होता है, इसको मैं इस तरह सॉर्ट कर सकती हूँ. You just have to keep saying that. And मेरी आदत शुरू से है कि I just type it somewhere, or I just write it anywhere whenever I'm thinking of a question. So I just did that. Meanwhile thinking of it, and when the interviewer thought that I was on the right path, he asked me to code it out. What does an MNC like Google expect from an intern? Does it vary based on the branches? I am not sure about that. If you're sitting on campus, I don't know what all branches were allowed this year, but if you're sitting for a software engineering internship interview, they'll ask the same thing as they'll ask CSE, IT, EC, MA, whichever branches they allow. As a second year with intermediate knowledge of DSA, what all things should I focus and look out for? Focus as much as you can on DSA, and put in a good amount of effort on development as well, whatever tech stack you want to pick. But मेक श्योर दैट डेवलपमेंट अगर कभी नीचे हो जाए कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, DSA कंसिस्टेंट रहना चाहिए, तब ही वो फ्लो बन पाता है. हाउ डू वी गेट टू नो अबाउट इंटर्नशिप अपॉर्चुनिटीज ऑफ Google/Microsoft? If it's on campus, the TNP cell informs you. If you're looking for off campus, you have to keep like alerts on their career website. They generally the summer internship interviews and the process starts after I guess July or around July, I'm not sure. Because in my case I was directly informed by my college, so you just have to keep an eye on their career pages and just look out कि पिछले साल कब हुआ था, तो उसी डेट के आसपास ध्यान रखना. How to do selective study? There's so much where to set the boundaries. I mean, you can go as deep as you want to, but you should have like a basic knowledge of everything, and you should be able to solve basic questions of everything. So जब उतना कर लो, तो you can switch to a new concept, but still keep practicing on the old ones. Okay, so the next question is how to apply off campus, as it is not open for all branch students. I'm not sure what all branch students it is open for, but for off campus you can go to the career website of Google, for Microsoft, whichever company you want to apply for, and you'll find everything over there. How did you deal with the questions that you weren't able to solve? Thankfully, I was able to solve all of the questions in my coding round and my interviews. But like as I said, that there was this concept that I got stuck at, that was tries. I knew it was tries, but I had never solved it. So I just calmed myself down, took like a deep breath, and I was like, करना तो है. It's either करो नहीं तो वो गए इंटरव्यू से. So I was like, yeah, I can solve it. So I was constantly thinking of it, and the interviewer is not someone who's just sitting and judging you and they'll be like कि इसको बस निकालना है हमें. They are like one of the most helpful people. They also want you to get the internship as much as you want to, so they'll help you and they'll give you hints. So you're like मैंने ऐसे बोला कि अच्छा I know कि ये कौन सा concept है. I think I can solve it not using that concept but generalities, because उसमें भी ऐसा होता है तो शायद इसको मैं इस तरह कर सकती हूँ. जो लाइक क्या यू गोइंग राइट, पर आप इतनी सारी क्यों बनाओगे, इसको कंबाइन क्यों नहीं करोगे. तो दे केप्ट काउंटर क्वेश्चनिंग मी एंड दैट एक्चुअली मेड मी रियलाइज कि कौन से पाथ पे जाना है. एंड व्हेन वी वर एबल टू कट डाउन ऑन द कॉन्सेप्ट I started coding it. And even during the coding, since you do not code on an IDE when you're giving a Google interview, you have to code it on uh, a website which is very similar to Google Docs. So there's this document which is very similar to Google Docs, but it's a little different. Not exactly Google Docs, but not an IDE. So you have to code over there. Um, सो या लाइक आई यू बाउंड टू मेक मिस्टेक्स बिकॉज आई में सीधा अंडरलाइन हो जाता है जहाँ पे एरर होता है. यहाँ पे अंडरलाइन नहीं होगा. तो ही केप्ट गोइंग थ्रू माई कोड वाइल आई वाज कोडिंग इट एंड ही सेड कि आर यू श्योर अबाउट दिस. एंड लाइक नहीं, मैं बता रही हूँ ना, मेरे को तो इसको ऐसे करना था. So it was a very friendly interview and I was able to solve the question. So yeah, the interviewer will help you. Don't worry about that. How to find a mentor if you are, I'm not sure who you are. If you're from IGDT, just reach out to a senior, ask them for help, ask them to mentor you, and they'll be happy to do that. We have a very welcoming culture over here and we help our juniors very well. And that's it for the questions. I know this was a very long video, but I hope I was able to help and explain. I think I picked up all the questions, and if you want more videos related to this, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to make that for you. If you have any more video ideas, please recommend them to me so that I can be consistent. And also if you want a video specific to resume, also let me know about that. I would only make it if people actually want to see that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped you in some way. And one thing I would say is calm down. हो जाएगा. It's a very stressful time, but हो जाता है. Don't worry about it. Just don't over pressurize yourself. सब करो लिमिट में, पढ़ाई ढंग से कर लो, हो जाएगा. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Till then, goodbye.